If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is February the 23rd, 2023, and today the topic is Reclaim Your Dominion. Whew, y'all, I hope that you all had a great day yesterday. Mine was just fine. I did everything I set out to do yesterday, y'all. I started off the day with an awesome interview for the GSL talk show. Listen, y'all need to stay tuned. I don't know when that was coming out, but I mean, we talked all about kind of some things that gave me inspiration about today. A lot of supernatural talk in that conversation. So that was an amazing conversation that I had yesterday. After that, I spent a little time, me and my men folk, we had a little time together and whatnot. And then I had to go get ready because I had to run some errands to get prepared for the Miracle Lab, which I did last night. Those that follow me on social media, you may have already seen a sneak peek at that. But yeah, that was awesome as well. And yeah, I also did my my little service, I guess, for Anchor Phlebotomy. I did their mock interviews as well. So your girl was a little bit all over the place, but God be glory, everything got done. And yeah, everything is everything. I know that don't sound like a lot, like when I sit here and say or just list it out, right? But it was a lot. It was a lot because, again, I do the talk show. That means I'm doing my own makeup. I'm doing all that, dressing myself, all that. Then spending time with my family, okay, you know, being a mom, being a wife, whatever. Then getting my little guy ready and everything like that so we can get ready to go. I went to the store. Went to 2 stores, actually, because one store didn't have everything I needed. Then, you see what I'm saying? So it's just a whole combination. Then by the time I got to the church, I started to set everything up. Some stuff I couldn't figure out, so I set up as much as I could. I stopped setting up so I could do, you know, the whole thing with Anchor Phlebotomy. And then I did the Miracle Lab with about 18 kids. The check-in process was still wonky, so I don't know. Maybe I'm not supposed to check people in. Maybe I'm just supposed to count the kids and just go like that. Like, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much a little bit more of an accurate description of how yesterday went. But to God be the glory, man. I'm excited. It's good overall. I ain't gonna lie. By the time I came back home, I was definitely pooped. But, you know, it's a good position to be in, and I'm excited about, you know, everything that's being established with me and the church and everything like that. So yeah, I just want to give y'all a better and accurate description of what I mean by when I did everything yesterday. But anywho, y'all, let's get into this conversation about reclaiming your dominion. I mean, again, I think there's a few things that led me to this topic for today. I think part of it was the supernatural conversation that I had yesterday for GSL with an amazing woman of God and whatnot. And, you know, I ended up talking to her about some of the issues like that I have been talking to y'all about over the past few days and whatnot. And basically, she reminded me that I need to reclaim my authority, you know, and everything like that. And so with that in mind this morning, and also just kind of observing different things, y'all, like, if y'all follow the Facebook, y'all may have seen a little bit, I guess, of where my mind is, right? Because I've shared different videos and whatnot that I've come across this morning. One video in particular was talking about, you know, a gentleman boldly answering a question. And the person that, I guess, or one of the people he was speaking to, I guess, got so upset that she left the interview and everything like that. I'm sure everybody may have their own opinions about the subject. I don't feel led to get into that subject, what they were talking about at the moment. But basically, I just found it very interesting that as she was leaving, she was trying to call him out as a Christian and call him out as, a man of God or whatever the case is. She's like, oh, you think you're this, you're that, but look at what you're saying. And when he was only speaking truth, and whatnot, and not even in a harsh way, in my humble opinion, but hey, I guess to each their own and everything like that. And so that stood out to me this morning. I also, well, here's a little reminder, but this is, I guess, adds to the conversation that tonight, we'll be having our second episode of Biblical Sex 101. And you may have noticed that yesterday I posted on my social media, I'm trying to, get an idea of what you all wanted to learn. And so we put out a poll and everything. I asked the questions, and I even put it in some different groups, specifically like a Christian YouTuber group. And I see that somebody responded in Hebrew, I guess. I don't know the quote, but it's kind of like oy vey or something like that, right? And it's like on one hand, I didn't take offense, right, to whatever that person was saying, because I don't know the context. I'm just reading their comment, right? But it made me think this morning, alongside everything else, that, like, friends, lend me your ears, us as believers, right? Christians, we need to reclaim our dominion in all things. In all things. And I think the thing about GSL is that for some reason, the Lord is allowing me, I guess, to be a voice in this season to reclaim our authority in the conversations, just the conversations of God, sex, love, and everything. Reclaim our authority. We can talk about this stuff. We need to talk about this stuff. If we don't, we see the effects of not talking about this stuff. Like, don't y'all see it? Maybe y'all don't see it. But I do. And so thank God for the people that are being bold in this season. Thank God for people that stand in truth, in love, but at the same time be bold with their faith and their belief. And I thank and praise God for each and every person that truly understands where I'm coming from when it comes to this platform and everything like that. I don't know. I don't want to say that the individual that commented in the Christian YouTuber group, I'm not trying to say anything about the person in regards to, because again, I don't know. Maybe the comment was just like, oh, wow, let me clutch my pearls at you bringing up this conversation of sex in a Christian platform. Like, I mean, maybe it just was as simple as that. But for me, I guess I just feel like it's just very important to reclaim our dominion in all aspects of life. And I'm just one little person over here saying, hey, I'm willing to open the door and be bold about, hey, all aspects of faith, including God, sex, and love, and that might ruffle some feathers, or, people might have to clutch their pearls because you don't want to, maybe we're embarrassed to talk about these things. But my thing is, like, the more we try to be embarrassed and all that, the more the enemy gains territory. I guess like unsolicited territory that he shouldn't have. Like in our homes, in our schools, and even our churches and everything else. So why y'all want to be scared to talk about God, sex, and love, or whatever the case is, the enemy's out here running rapid. And then we be confused. We be like, oh, how did this happen? Why are things the way they are? Oh, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, when faced with adversity, or whatever the case is, when faced with even a difference of opinion or whatever, like, instead of standing on truth and what the Bible has to say, we over here, well, I don't want to offend, or I don't want to X, Y, and Z. Like, well, Jesus alone offends. I'm sorry. Just Jesus alone offends. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the Lord showed me that once I first kicked off the juice, and once I first was like, you know, whatever I named it at that time, it was like kind of like Bible 101. It was like the basics. That's what I was talking about back in the day. The basics of the Bible offends. Okay, Jesus alone. So even if you say anything biblical, you're probably going to offend somebody one way or another. So we can't, instead of worrying about offending somebody, you should worry about whether you're offending God or not. Like, that's really what you need to be worried about. In my little humble opinion. Well, I asked the Lord to come on in and say whatever he wanted to say through me. So I'm just saying. Let's reclaim our dominion, y'all. So what do I mean? Well, I pretty much just stayed in the word this morning in regards to this conversation. There's a few things that I looked up. I mean, obviously you guys can define authority. You can define, dominion and all of that if you need to do so. But for me, again, I just pretty much focused on what the Bible had to say about reclaiming your dominion, and things like that. So let's look and see. All right. Luke 10:19. It says, "Behold, I have given you authority to tread on serpents and scorpions and over the power of the enemy, and nothing shall hurt you." I don't know if we believe that, to be honest. Like, it says that plainly, and I guess I have some understanding. I mean, maybe I could go deeper with this idea of serpents and scorpions, because I mean, maybe it's like, oh, is this natural serpents and scorpions, or are this spiritual serpents and scorpions? I think it's more so spiritual personally, but hey, I mean, we can go deeper about all of what that means. But the overall message here is saying that, hey, I've given you authority to tread over these things. Nothing can hurt you. At this point, there's nothing that can hurt us, according to this. And but we don't act like that. We don't walk like that. We don't talk like that. Again, we're afraid to even have conversations. So let alone face adversity, right? Let alone, I mean, I can't imagine if, I mean, well, shout out to the biblical figures, right? Shout out to those those Bible people that we read about, because they really, really stood till death. Like they stood up against the adversity of stones, war, whatever. And there's people in our day and time that are doing so as well. So shout out to them, those individuals as well. But those of us here in, I guess, in America or whatever, again, we have the freedoms, right? And we have these things in place that sort of saves us, right? From certain things. But who knows how long that's going to last. And I'm just being honest about like the things that cross my mind in regards to, I guess, the way things seem to be going. So just, I mean, hey, as people come for our freedoms every single day, if we, right, don't start to reclaim our dominion and everything like that, I mean, we might see the larger persecution, or the type of persecution that our brothers and sisters in Christ around the world have seen, and throughout the generations, or whatever the case is, has seen, and whatnot. So we might see that a little bit earlier probably than we should. So I don't know. Something to think about. Something to think about as we embark on this conversation. So then John 14:12, it says, "Truly, truly I say to you, whoever believes in me will also do the works that I do, and greater works than these will he do, because I am going to the Father." On one hand, when I had a conversation with Dr. Rupp, that's her name. So y'all be on the lookout for that episode, y'all, because she's has a lot of really interesting testimonies. Again, supernatural testimonies and whatnot. However, the conversation that I had with her after the show yesterday, she really just, in a simple way, and it's like, man, why didn't I think about this to address my situations? But she pretty much just reminded me that every now and then, when it comes to certain situations, we need to take control over those situations with prayer or whatever it is. Like, before we walk into situations, you might need to pray, for authority over those situations. And it could be just that simple, but a lot of us go into situations unguarded, without prayer, whatever it is, and then we were like, man, why did this happen? Like, oh, why is this things happening the way they are? Like, even it was very interesting. Her conversation was another conversation that was seeming to have a lot of issues with my technology. I use this platform of StreamYard every day, and I'm pretty much, for the most part, it flows. Nothing is a problem. But every now and then when I record on it, because in the future y'all gonna see some episodes that are being recorded on this platform, and there'll be things that are happening. I noticed, like, with her, and I feel like there was another lady in the past that had a powerful testimony and powerful information to share, that the technology would start acting up, and then we would pray, and then things would get settled again. So I'm just saying, like, that is a powerful tool that we don't really walk in. Like, we don't really use, I guess, to the extent that we should. So, I mean, I know I'm going to be looking in and trying to check myself in this area, and try to, I guess, exert more authority in these situations and reclaim my dominion, or whatever the case is, in these certain situations, to, I guess, try to combat some of the persecution or whatever that I feel like is coming my way. But I hope that we all are encouraged and inspired to do that this morning, y'all. I hope that we're all, look into this a little bit more, right? And get a better understanding of the authority and the dominion that we have. Because Jesus said, this is Jesus' words. These are the red letters in the Bible. And he is saying that you are going to do greater works than him. And from my understanding, he was around here healing people, casting out demons, all kinds of things for 3 years of his ministry, or whatever the case is. So probably every day, he had to take breaks and whatnot. He had to go and hide himself away sometimes, so who knows how many miracles really truly happened. But yeah, but we don't. Anyway, I think, yeah, obviously there's work to do. Y'all. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's see what else the Bible has to say. So, Mark 16 and 17, it says, and these signs will accompany those who believe in my name. They will cast out demons. They will speak in new tongues. So there you go. It goes on as well. So you guys can check out that in the Go Deeper section. Mark 16, 15 through 18. But, now, I mean, out of those two that I just mentioned, I mean, I have been speaking in tongues. I told y'all about my speaking in tongues story. If y'all don't remember it, it's in some episodes. I don't know. I asked y'all, do y'all want me to, like, share things in detail? So but anyway, y'all can let me know if y'all want me to make individual videos that explains different things about my journey or whatever. But y'all told me no, I think. when I put up a poll, like, y'all want more details about me and whatever, y'all like, no. So at least one person voted no, and I'm like, I'll just go with that, because but anyway, because nobody else voted. But whatever, even if you don't need to hear my journey, get on your own journey, right? If you're not speaking in tongues, I mean, hey, it's one of the things that, I didn't get it in the past. I had a friend of mine that, long story short, I'm not going to get into my whole story, but basically I did have a friend of mine that, kept talking to me about it. And I just was like, I mean, I've been around it. I don't play around, with it. And, when it happens, it'll happen, or whatever the case is. Like, I don't understand why you are down my throat every day about it. That was the vibe back in the day when I would have the conversation with my friend. But now it's just this, I mean, natural thing that happens with me, for me, I guess, and through me. And I appreciate being able to pray in tongues and speak in tongues and whatnot. I don't know if I have specifically cast out some demons. Now, I might have been praying or whatever, and I don't know what the Lord has done in some of my prayers or whatever, but I don't know. I mean, maybe we need to exercise this authority a little bit more, friends. That's all I'm saying. Bible believing people, apparently there's more demons that need to be cast out, or whatever the case is. So I'm just saying, let's be a little bit more bold, y'all. Let's get into the word and see what the word has to say about our authority and our dominion. But I'm trying to share as much as I can today. So hopefully this encourages you and inspires you to go deeper. Okay? So Daniel 7 and 14, it says, and to him was given dominion and glory and a kingdom that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom one that shall not be destroyed. So obviously they're talking about Jesus here, everything like that. This is the type of dominion he has. And hey, I feel like the track record shows thus far. I mean, we've heard of, plenty of kingdoms, plenty of nations and whatnot that would rise and fall and everything like that. But somehow this message of the gospel has continued all these years. And so sounds like, again, more confirmation of what the Bible has to say. And so I don't know if that's potent for somebody today, but I mean, hey, come on to the winning side, according to the Bible now, according to the Bible. Now, Romans 6:14, it says, "For sin will not have dominion over you, since you are not under law, but under grace." Like this right here, I think this is one of our issues. We allow sin to overpower us. We allow whatever the enemy wants to do to overpower us. We'll let all these things overpower us and then wonder why we are in our situations. And then God's over here like, hey, I've given you all the authority. Like you have all the authority, all the dominion. From the beginning, you've had authority and dominion. From the beginning, you were made in my image. You're not me. Let's keep that. Because again, I don't know, man. Maybe that's one of my pet peeves. People talking about, oh, I am God. No, you're not. What? That's a whole nother conversation. I ain't getting into that right now. Listen, but he has given us authority, right? He has given us authority and dominion over a lot of different things. And so, I mean, the Bible has a lot to say about it, y'all. Y'all can go deeper, see what it has to say. I was coming across the verses that, I think it was the disciples that were surprised that they had, authority over demons, right? And things like that. And so y'all can go deeper and read all those verses and read all those things and hopefully get encouraged and inspired to walk in your authority. Because friends, listen, we don't have time to waste, really. Again, I feel like, I say this all the time, but we can see all around us what it looks like to, I guess, let our authority just fall by the wayside and let other things gain authority and territory on us. And so, while we still can, I think we should walk in our dominion and authority. And that is ultimately the juice this morning. Now, listen, I feel like the Bible verse of today is confirmation, but hey, you tell me. It's John 8:32. It says, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Now, y'all know that tomorrow is Friday, right? So that means that a new episode of the GSL Talk Show will be going live at 7 p.m., and it will be a chat with Miss Tiger AJ Ray. She's back. So I hope that you guys tune in tomorrow night, but also tune in tonight. Again, Biblical Sex we will actually be live tonight at 7 p.m. at 7 p.m., y'all. And I think, I don't want to misquote, but I think because of the voting system and what we did, the subject that y'all want to learn is about sensory items or something like that. I think that's what it is, but y'all can confirm. Hopefully I'll be posting about it soon and we'll confirm that or whatever. But either way, tune in tonight live for Biblical Sex 101. But y'all have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday, and I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.
Hello, charmers. Visit ttcboutique.com for the latest in fashion and accessories. Twice the charm, the source of women clothing.